My Quick and Carry Live. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on the Quick and Carry Kitchen. I am Kristen Madrine, and I'm so excited to introduce you to my good friend and colleague, Alexandra Smith.
Hi.
You can call her Alex. Alex was my teacher, and now she is my friend. So, Alex, welcome to the Quick and Carry Kitchen.
I'm very excited to be here. I've watched your episodes on Fridays. And,
awesome.
You know, you're one of the reasons I have an Instant Pot.
Well,
so.
I wanted to ask you about that. When did you become an Instant Pot cook?
Oh, I want to say about 3-4 months ago. And I bought my Instant Pot because I love risotto. I am a risotto addict, and everyone kept telling me, oh, risotto in the Instant Pot is so easy, because I was always afraid of making it on the stove.
Right.
So, and there's a mushroom spinach risotto on the Instant Pot website. That's amazing. I make it all the time, and it's one of my favorite. I just had it last week. So.
And for those of you who are watching from, welcome from Instant Pot 101 for Beginners. Alex is one of the members of that group, as am I. So hi to everybody from our group that's joining us today. And we are going to make a special recipe that was actually sort of designed, a recipe developed by Alex herself. So tell us a little bit about your recipe.
We're going to make honey garlic chicken, and anybody who has Googled honey garlic chicken will know that there are 47 different recipes for honey garlic chicken. So what I did was I took elements from this recipe, I took the timing from another recipe, I took, some recipes had 5, 6, 7, 8 ingredients. I like simple. So I found one that had 4 ingredients for the sauce. I think I added a little bit less honey. I switched out crushed red pepper for my favorite spice, sambal oelek. And so I just kind of played around with I adjusted the ingredients is how I came up with the recipe.
And you call it what?
I call it my Franken-recipe.
It is kind of like a Franken-recipe.
So, don't be afraid of taking 5 different recipes and smashing them together, because that's what, that's what I did, and that's how I came up with it.
And it's absolutely delicious, and you can see the finished product down there in front of us. And I went over to Alex's a couple weeks ago and had dinner at her house. Alex was my teacher when...
Graphic design teacher, not cooking teacher.
No.
I am not... She called me a chef in the intro. I am not a chef. I am just a single person that likes to eat decent food. And so I like simple. So because, and I don't mind leftovers, so I look for recipes that I can do leftovers, that if I make a ton of it, I don't feel bad if it comes out wrong, Right. So.
And Alex is very busy. She teaches at our local community college, Northwestern Michigan College, and that is where we met. She was my teacher. But even before she was my teacher, we both celebrated the 40th birthday of a mutual friend of ours, another teacher who you've known for 25 years.
20-something years, yeah.
And I had just met our friend Caroline, and it was her 40th birthday, so we went on a little trip together.
Yes, and to summarize it, it involved some Amish, a boat, a couple hundred bikers, a hot tub, and Frank Lloyd Wright,
and sleep deprivation.
Yes. So, and we'll leave it there.
And that's how we became friends.
And that's how we became friends.
So we have a really wonderful foundation for our friendship, but then we like to go out to eat, and we actually call ourselves Two Broads Eat TC, Traverse City. And we like to share meals and try each other's food and have great conversation. So it is perfect that Alex is joining me to really celebrate your first actual recipe that you developed. Yes. And what we want you to really know from this is most Instant Pot recipes can be Frankenfurtered together, like she said. You can put a bunch of stuff together like that, and you can't mess stuff up. So if you're a new cook, sort of like she is, a new Instant Pot person, you've been very successful with your Instant Pot.
I have not had, I've had a couple sort of failures. I had the crunchy, where you open it up and the pasta's still crunchy, where I had to throw it in a casserole and into the oven for 20 minutes. But after that, it was fine. I think it was chicken tetrazzini or something like that.
Okay, all right.
But,
So this is Alex's honey garlic chicken, and let's talk a little bit about the garlic. You brought that from your mom's.
Yes, my mom has, we call it Mom's 40-year backyard garlic. We don't know exactly what variety it is. We think it's a Russian or a German hardneck. But it's been inbred in her yard for so long that it grows all over the place. Borderline commercial quantities of garlic, and this is this year's crop.
Awesome.
Or part of this year's crop. The tiny segment of this year's crop.
Awesome. So. Very good. Hi, Alice. Thanks for the garlic, bringing the garlic to northern Michigan. Yeah. And then we've already started a little bit of the recipe. In the Instant Pot, we have one of the most important pieces of the recipe is this, which is the sesame oil. And if you don't have any, this is worth going to the international food section of your local grocery store. It's widely available everywhere. And it really lends the best flavor. You could saute everything in another kind of oil, but don't you think this really...
it adds a little bit of something.
Yeah, it adds sort of what I would call maybe a multi-dimensional flavor, and also gives it a little bit more of that Far Eastern feel.
Yeah, it gives a little Asian.
Yeah, a little Asian feel. So in the pot, we have sesame oil, and in the sesame oil, I have already sauteed half of a large onion. Probably about 7 cloves of garlic are in there. I put lots of garlic in today.
More garlic, the better.
The more garlic, the better. Don't hold back if you're a garlic lover. And so I sauteed that. And you remember, the saute function on an Instant Pot can get really hot. So watch your browning. And keep your stirring going so that you don't get lots of brown spots on the bottom of the pot. But if you do, after you have browned the chicken, you can use some of the chicken broth to deglaze the pot. And remember, that's really important. If you don't deglaze the pot and there's brown on the bottom, it won't come to pressure. So use a little bit of notice. Get a burn notice. So you don't want to do that. I am going to just take a moment and say hi to some of our people today. Hi, Diane, Linda, and Kathy, friends of the show, my dear friends who are always here. Hi, Cammie Dragon. Nice to see you. Oh, Diane, is your birthday tomorrow? Let's say happy birthday to Diane. Happy birthday, Diane. Darby is here with us, Suzanne and Gail and Darla. Hey, great of you to join us. If you have a question for Alex or I, be sure to put it in the comments down below. We love that those of you who are joining us live are here today, and we also send a shout out to all of you who watch us later, including our mutual friend Margaret, who we know who will be watching us.
I had a couple people ask, "Are you taping it?" I'm like, "Yes, it will be on Facebook Live later." Yes.
Absolutely.
Since I am now internet famous.
That's right. Now we are.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me a little bit about the sauce, and you get to add the stuff. So
the sauce is really simple. It's 4 ingredients. There's soy sauce. Do you have the quantities? I don't have the quantities.
Yeah, this is a quarter cup of soy sauce.
Quarter cup of soy sauce that you put in.
3 tablespoons full of ketchup. And I use a really good Heinz ketchup, but you can use whatever you want. You can also use tamari instead of the soy sauce, or a gluten-free tamari if you need to go in that direction.
Honey.
And this is a nice local honey. You know me, I got to do something local on my table. So I've got a nice local honey for us, and it's raw honey, which is just a really nice thick honey. Very nice.
It is nice and thick. Oh, it looks so good.
And now your favorite ingredient.
My favorite ingredient is sambal oelek. Comes in this green jar. It's made by the same people that make sriracha. It's chili paste. So I don't know exactly what's in it, but if you ever been to a Thai restaurant, you'll see that little jar on the table full of red sauce, full of seeds. That's chili paste. And so I searched it out a while back because I was making stir fry at home and I wanted that Thai restaurant spicy flavor, and I found sambal oelek.
Here, I'll take the dirties.
Do you have the broth measured out?
I don't have the broth measured out. We'll just have
We're gonna eyeball it.
We're gonna eyeball it. So on our Facebook page, it's a half a cup.
Half a cup. Okay.
Half a cup of that.
Yep,
that's probably about right. On our Facebook page yesterday, it just so happened that the New York Times had a wonderful article about sambal oelek. And so it's on our Facebook page. If you want to read about what this is, you could substitute any other chai.
Red pepper. The original recipe I found was red pepper flakes, but I love sambal oelek because it's more than just spicy. It's got
a little vinegary hint in it. Little tomato. So you can add more or less of that. I am not a spice lover at all. whereas you kind of love a good spice on yours.
Yes.
So we compromised. The night that we ate it, it was not spicy at all.
And then teaspoon in.
And then you added more for yours if you wanted to. So you can play around with your own spiciness, but perfect. It was really good.
I put it on everything. I put it on mac and cheese. I put it on ramen. I put it on anything I want to add a hint of spice to.
Yeah. Okay, so now remember, in the pot we've got the sauteed onion, garlic, and I have browned the chicken on both sides. I'm just going to grab a chicken piece and show you. So it's all cooked to the point where it's not pink anymore. Brown on both sides, and oh, the fragrance is delicious. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to add.
This is an awesome whisk, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It's fancy, got the extra ball.
Yeah, it has the fancy thing in it. Where's this? All right. So now I'm going to add every single drop of the sauce. And I'm going to set that back in front of you. And I'm just going to give everything a stir. Oh, it really does smell so amazing. And then you're going to put on your lid. And you're going to lock on your lid. And you're going to set your pressure cook or your manual button for 10 minutes. And then, as with most meat dishes, you're going to give it a 10-minute natural pressure release. And that is so that the juices go back into the meat and the meat stays nice and moist. If you do it too soon, you can end up with kind of dry meat, and we don't want any of that. So then let's talk about who else is here? Lori says, oh my, this sounds so good. Yes, it is so good. It's really,
so
really
simple,
lovely.
So easy.
Now remember, you can all ask for this recipe. We'll send it to you via a PDF. So when you get the little question that asks you, would you like the recipe, just say yes, and it will come to you.
And I've posted it a half dozen times, so you probably can search my name on the 101 group.
Absolutely. It'll be on our blog, on our Quick and Carry page, and I'll also post the recipe again later this afternoon. So you have plenty of opportunities to get Alex's Franken honey garlic chicken deliciousness. I know we're going to enjoy it. I have already made a pot of sticky white rice, and so we've got that waiting for our lunch. And what do we do once we're done with this, Alex? What's the next step?
Broccoli in the Instant Pot is such a touchy thing. So I just take a bag of frozen broccoli and I cook it in the microwave while it's doing my natural release. Because I figure natural release is 10 minutes, broccoli in the microwave is about 5. So by the time I'm done with my natural release, the broccoli is ready to come out. And when that's done, we add a cornstarch slurry to thicken up the sauce a little bit. So I add the slurry, dump the broccoli in on top, give it a little stir, and it's ready to go.
From my mom, maybe your mom was that same kind of person who always had a little jar in our kitchen with a lid on it, and it was always her little shake the cornstarch thing. I remember that from when I was a child, that my mom kind of had a special little way that
your
she
mom
did
cooked
that.
Fancy.
My mom did not cook fancy, but she was a good cook. But, she did use a little thing. So I found a little thing in our kitchen today, and I've already made my slurry. So when the pot is done cooking, you open the pot. Well, you let any pressure that's still there out. You open the pot, and you turn it back to saute. And it'll start to bubble up a little. Add the cornstarch slurry to that and stir for it's not even 5 minutes before it gets thick, okay? And at that point, you add in your broccoli and give it a nice stir so that everything is coated. And then you're ready to serve it over rice.
Yes.
And chow down.
Yes.
It's
so good.
It is. It's really delicious. And this is a super easy recipe. All right. Any questions? Oh, Diane says that she loves that the recipes are easy to get. I am so glad. I really am. We want you to keep our recipes. I know Ruth Light, one of our friends of the kitchen, she likes to collect all of our recipes. Maybe some of the rest of you are doing it. You kind of end up with a little Quick and Carry recipe cookbook, which now you're in the Quick and Carry recipes forever and ever. Your specific recipe will be there. So Diane, thank you for that feedback. We're really, really good, really happy with that. What else? Oh, Kathy says she's been waiting all week for this. Oh, good. Oh,
Just
Lindsay from the UK. Hey, over there. I hope you guys get some rain and that it cools down pretty soon. A friend of mine just came back from London and said it was like going to a different world. So thanks for joining us from the UK. I'd love to know how you found out about the Quick and Carry Kitchen over there in England. But we're glad. Maybe, Alex, we could go to London and eat.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you and me doing London together? Hello, ladies. Hello. We're going to visit the Queen.
We're gonna go have some
tea,
some tea,
some tea and crumpets, and some scones.
Yes,
absolutely. All right, so
and where we just lost our UK viewers.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So remember, you can always leave a comment down below. We read all of the comments that you send to us, requests for future shows. What would you like? I know there's even another pork chop request, so we're working on another pork chop request. But if there's something that you would like to see us do on the show, my job for you is to try recipes and tell you this worked great or this was a terrible flop. And really the only thing, and we are almost at our 1-year anniversary of the Quick and Carry Kitchen Show, we've had one flop, and it wasn't even a flop because it was supposed to be strawberry jam and it ended up being strawberry sauce for ice cream. So it really wasn't a flop.
No.
It was just a readjustment. And that's what we want all of you beginning Instant Pot cooks to know. You can't mess anything up too bad. It really, other than the pasta not cooking.
Yeah, but even that was just, I took it, I took it out of the Instant Pot, put it in a casserole, 20 minutes in the oven, and it was fine.
Right.
It just needed that little bit extra time.
Right. If you are afraid to take your Instant Pot out of your box, don't be. We have the easiest recipes, and they've all been really delicious. We all love Fridays in the Quick and Carry Kitchen because, after we're done here, we'll all sit around the table and eat. So, really, leave us comments about what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like us to try. What are some of your favorite recipes? Have you designed your own recipe? I keep saying the word design for you. I think it's just, you're my design teacher. Yeah, it is. You're my design teacher. Yeah. Alex, very carefully and with grace and compassion and some impatience, encouraged me to get much better. I was not very good as a graphic design student, but by the end, I now do it professionally.
To use a Southern term, there was a lot of, oh, bless your heart.
I might be her most improved student.
You were.
From beginning to
when
end.
it clicked.
Yeah. Right.
And then, I understand why I didn't understand this before.
I used to hate making posters, and now I make posters all the time because you got through to me on that. So thank you. And it is wonderful when your teacher becomes your friend. And as you can see, we have a good time together. Yes. It's lots of fun.
Lots of laughing, lots of giggling.
Lots of giggling, absolutely. Yes. So let's just review really quickly. We've already got some white rice. That's what we chose because we like this over sticky rice. We have Alice's garlic. We use some local honey.
Grocery store garlic is fine if grocery store garlic is what you have.
It is. But it's nice to have.
This is so fresh right now, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Sesame oil is your friend in this recipe. It really does add a hint of flavor that you're going to want. You use some sambal oelek, you use chicken broth, you use some soy sauce, and you've got onions and garlic along with the oil. You saute all of that, add the chicken to just brown the chicken until it's pink, giving that a little flavor and a little depth on the bottom. If you have a little burny on the bottom, don't be afraid to use the chicken broth to deglaze the pan because that's a super important part of the process of cooking with an Instant Pot. Also remember, this is just a pro tip, saute your onions for a few minutes first and then add your garlic at the end because otherwise you'll end up with burnt garlic and not everybody likes the taste of burnt garlic. So you get all of that ready, you put your sauce over it, cook it for 10 minutes on high pressure in the Instant Pot, 10-minute natural pressure release, take off the lid, put on saute, add your cornstarch slurry, let it thicken up, add your broccoli, and I do want to just say one thing about the broccoli. We talked about this a little bit before. She always does her broccoli in the microwave. You could use stovetop cooked broccoli. You could use fresh broccoli if you wanted to. And I do think if you wanted to let it cook a little longer, you could just put the broccoli straight in the Instant Pot frozen and then just let it cook until, but you have to wait.
It's not going to hurt it if you let it cook longer.
But you aren't going to eat as fast.
No.
The night we were at your house, we were both like,
when's it done?
When's it going to be done? Is it done yet?
Are you done? Yeah. Okay. Why aren't you cooking yet? Why?
Hurry up. Well, I want that. So, that's the way that it is. So, all right. Well, you've got the recipe. If you've requested it, you can find it on our blog. Let's all thank Alex for coming in today. Thank you for sharing your recipe with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Is there anything else you want to say about the recipe?
I can't think of it. I think it's under 10 ingredients, which is like a big thing in my... I love simple, because I don't like having a pantry full of stuff that I use for one recipe.
Right.
So everything here is stuff that you could use over and over again.
Even the Sesame Oil and the Sesame Oil. You'll use it for other recipes that
any stir fry. If you like spice, any stir fry.
There you go.
The Sesame Oil is great in. And like I said, mac and cheese, ramen, whatever.
Awesome. So thanks to Alex for coming on today and sharing her honey garlic chicken. Thanks to Alice for the garlic. And thanks to all of you for watching. And I want to say that this week we celebrated the anniversary of the birth of the patron saint of the Quick and Carry Kitchen. Julia Child's birthday was Wednesday afternoon, I think. It was I was about to make a post about Julia and how she is the patron saint of the Quick and Carry Kitchen, and our power went out, and so we had to leave work a little early that day, and I didn't get to do it. But I want to honor Julia Child, who is my inspiration for the kind of cook I am and the kind of person I want to be. I just really love what Julia Child stands for. So in her honor today, do it with me. Put up your hand and let's say together, Bon appetit!